My fiancé's ex admitted she left him because of cancer, not because she stopped loving him, and now he's grieving her so intensely I feel like a third wheel in my own relationship. My fiancé, 30 male, and I, 31 female, have been together for nearly 3 years. We were super excited for our wedding that's gonna take place 6 months from now. I had a hard boundary against exes in the relationship and we both agreed on that. No pictures, no contact, no stories, nothing. Prior to meeting me, he was in a serious relationship for about the same time as us. However, his ex, 29 female, one day told him she no longer loves him and they broke up. He was heartbroken and it took him months to heal. Since his ex was blocked, her mom contacted my fiancé and told him she had cancer and wanted to meet him one last time. This was a difficult decision considering my boundaries, but I felt really sorry this girl was losing her life so young, so I supported my fiancé's decision to see her, but on the condition I'll be in the same room as them. Apparently, she had developed skin cancer and the doctor had drawn up a prognosis for her a few months before they broke up. The ex told both of us that she wanted him to lead a happy life with a woman who could share a life with him, and wished us well. That's why she lied about not loving him anymore, and that she always loved him all this time. She recently died 3 weeks ago and my fiancé is a complete mess. I can't unsee the way they both held each other's hands, and the look of nostalgia and love in his eyes for her. I just felt like an outsider in that moment. It's so difficult and hurtful to see him cry about another woman who he once loved. I literally can't unhear things he said to his mom in the kitchen one day. I wonder what life could have been like with her. We could have been a happy family of our own. She wanted kids with me and we could have named her Rose like she wanted. Where does this leave me? Why am I in his life still if he'd rather be with someone else? I promised myself that I'll only ever be with a guy for whom I am his one and only and first priority. I saw that in him before, but now I don't know. Trust me, I am not a heartless person and I would rather not put myself in any position where I'll consider myself a monster. But this feels incredibly complicated and extremely hurtful to feel like a third wheel in my once happy and thriving relationship. He has been reaching out to me for support and I gave a listening ear, and he has been telling me so many stories from his time with her, and I didn't like one bit of this. My therapist told me while having empathy is important, I shouldn't have to lose myself in my relationship even if circumstances are hard. 2 days ago, he received a package in the mail and it was from the ex's sister. Apparently it was a photo album from their old times that the ex wanted him to have. My fiancé held it so gently and even teared up little. And I literally broke down on the floor crying, having a panic attack. I think I almost unloaded all of what I've been feeling, the third wheel, the unfairness of the whole situation based on what my boundaries around exes had been, my anger at the ex for inserting herself in our lives for no good reason when both of us were literally so happy with how things were panning out regarding our wedding, questioning where his loyalties lied. And I think I did it in one of the most hurtful ways. I told him that we need to pause our wedding plans for now and wanted a week or 2 off to think about our relationship. I'm at my sister's place and haven't been able to sleep or eat properly ever since. It's almost as if I'm falling out of love with my fiancé and he has been calling me and texting me nonstop. I feel so guilty right now. He had self-destructive tendencies years ago and I am afraid I might trigger that. He says his ex already died and it's gonna break him if I left him too. If I left him too? Emphasis on the two, I'm just done. What the heck am I supposed to do? TLDR, I had a boundary against exes in our relationship, but my fiancé's ex, who had cancer, wanted to meet him one last time. I agreed on the condition that I would be present. During the meeting, I saw their lingering affection and heard him express regrets about their past. Now I feel like a third wheel and question his loyalty. I've asked for a break from our wedding plans and I'm struggling with my feelings. He's been reaching out, but I'm afraid of triggering his past suicidal tendencies. I'm feeling guilty and unsure about our future. Update 3 days later, to those of you who had the most foul things to say to me, maybe because you have the baggage of a widower or plain no relationship experience or can't understand that human emotions are complex, your lack of awareness is showing. After the initial shock of those judgmental comments wore off, I decided it was better to completely disregard any judgment that questioned my boundaries and how I handled my feelings. There simply cannot be 3 people in this relationship and I refuse to believe otherwise. Many of you thought they could do better by teaching me about marriage vows, but all of you are forgetting that marriage vows also mean forsaking all others in mind, body and spirit. She might be not physically present, but he would be in a different headspace emotionally. A part of him permanently will belong to her memories and there's nothing wrong with that inherently, but it's just not for me. Some of you have different standards for partnership and that is okay. What is not okay is shaming those that have them and pretending you are better than me and would have not felt heard if you were in my shoes. I guess, on Reddit, if you can't accept downright emotionally cruel behavior from your grieving partner, you are insecure. Guess what? I'd rather be insecure than accept that my partner's heart longs for someone else. There were also some Redditors that were truly a piece of work because they assumed that my therapist was stroking my ego. Why do you assume that your opinion matters more than that of a literal professional? Lol, and no, it was she who advised me to be flexible about my boundaries when I supported my ex to see his ex. But even she didn't anticipate how bad it got with the whole love confession. Everyone who says that I am jealous of a corpse or competing with a dead person, I think you're ignoring the elephant in the room. Like, these phrases don't even make sense to me. How is it even possible to be jealous of the dead? The elephant in the room is my fiancé's emotional and relational fidelity, a full, 100% commitment to me and only me, which isn't possible if you are dating a freshly grieving widower or someone who is actively longing for another person that isn't your current partner. Plus, all of those people who are questioning my boundaries have no idea what they are talking about, and rather embody the pick-me, unbothered non-jealous girl trope on Reddit. And maybe I made a mistake in staying in that room, but I guess also not. Because my fiancé said if I wasn't there he wouldn't have told me anyway because of how complicated it would have gotten. I guess it was the right call after all, no matter how many people like to disagree. And the fact that I knew what was going on in his heart enabling me to leave confirms why I need those boundaries. Had I been firm about him not going to see her, I wouldn't have been left feeling like a divorcee. I don't have the energy to elaborate on how many fond stories I have listened to since her passing, but one thing stands. The fact that he moved on from the initial breakup only because she decided to end things, makes me feel like he's only settling for me, and the only reason I am with him today is because of how he couldn't build a life with her, and that's a terrible foundation for a relationship where both partners should feel like the first choice. Him reliving what his future could have looked like has damaged any trust I've had in him beyond repair. I can't unhear things he has said, and I don't think I'll ever recover from the damage it has inflicted on both of us. Stepping outside of my situation has allowed me to see things differently, and I recognize this wasn't his fault. He was experiencing grief all over again, but also it wasn't fair to me. It's frankly not the kind of relationship I wanted, which came with such a profound baggage. And you may ask why? Maybe because I do realize that I don't have to set myself on fire to keep others warm and act as if everything is fine. A lot of comments have pointed out how poorly the ex also handled a confession, which shouldn't even have taken place at all. I forgive her because I think she unfairly paid for the loss of my relationship with her life, and she didn't deserve that. I think her last-minute theatrics didn't end well for my relationship because life isn't a movie and there are real feelings involved. So yes, I broke up with my fiancé, and it was not pretty. After calling me for the 100th time, I finally agreed to speak with him as I had the time to think about things. Objectively, I had been feeling pretty inadequate, second fiddle and an emotional dump pretty much, and it has wrecked with my sense of self. I went to our home and gave him the ring he proposed me with. I told him I don't see him in my future anymore, as seeing him grieve a future life with an ex made me lose all feelings for him. I just feel numb. He started hysterically crying and begged me to stay because now I was breaking up with him the same way his ex once did. This made me cry even harder as he still couldn't see beyond his grief. He asked me and screamed, "Why am I doing this?" He said a lot of cruel things to me which are honestly painful, but things really escalated here. He said he isn't letting me go and wants us to fix things. That's when I knew I wasn't safe where I was standing. I had to call my sister and his mother to come to his place to help ease him so that I could leave the house as quickly as possible. When his mom and my sister were there, here was the exchange between my now ex and I. Ex-fiancé: I doubt you ever had a heart. Me: oh, what do you know about my heart, when you know nothing other than your own suffering? Ex: someday, I hope you'll have the decency to admit how much you regret hurting me, just like she did. And maybe, just maybe, life will serve you a different kind of cancer in the next 3 years to teach you a lesson. We all looked in shock and horror, and his mother gave him a well-deserved slap across his face. To say that he instantly regretted that would be an understatement. He cried like a dam broke through. I had to give him his meds one last time. My sister muttered, "I hope you are ashamed of yourself," and grabbed my arm and took me out of the house. I might just look for welfare checkup for him as soon as I've gained some sanity and sense of normalcy. I care about him still as a person and certainly don't want to demonize him anymore, but this is not the man I fell in love with. I guess I have to stay single for a while and find someone actually worthy of my time. When I love with my full heart. And I want someone who can appreciate that. Wishing everyone, even the naysayers, peace and love. I'm going to be logging off Reddit to take care of my mental health now. I'm wishing love and peace to all who cared.